like to point out we have access to the special build used in the Gamescom tournament. So we have the fixed caster interface with a working minimap and
kill feed as well.
Overlay, kill feed as well, yeah. So this will be so much better.
I'm so happy we have this because it has been nearly impossible to do without the minimap and kill feed, like figure out what's going on.
Right. The only problem now is now we don't have an excuse for having bad angles.
Well, I just assume I always have a bad angle, so I don't need an excuse.
Pretty much.
It looks like 2 Marsoc heading to the south and 3 going through the middle. Nobody so far. Oh, actually, it looks like there is 1 pushing up to the North Street here. About to have some
keep an eye on where everybody else is
confrontation here.
Speaking of, Crowbro takes Master Stunner and Dabalina at the same time takes Crowbro. Bloody exchanges happening already.
Indeed.
Not sure if they're going to continue that push at the north, considering they just lost a guy. There is still that one defender, Dabalina, who did get the refrag, who might get them if they pop out. On the south side, kind of near Split Street, we got a couple of offenders moving up. Eclipse proning slowly but surely across the map here, looking to get any pics of anybody moving across the center market area, or like maybe going on North Wall.
That's a pretty nasty spot he's got, looking under the truck. Most people are not going to expect that if they run out in the open in that area.
Right. Meanwhile, over here back on North Street, Dabalina is actually pushed up. He's so close to the enemy team right now, he just doesn't know it. Cash Grady heard him talk, took 1 shot, misses. Dabalina, I don't think could hear him, and gets taken out unceremoniously, shot in the back.
Yeah, I wonder again if the sound worked against him on that one, because he just kept running even though he got shot at. Seems a little odd to me. I would be more inclined to blame the game for that one than him.
Yeah, probably. Meanwhile, Eclipse is still sneaking across the battlefield here.
Oh boy.
I think he's like basically prone the whole way, everywhere.
His uniform is going to be filthy.
Yeah. Pushes up down this alley here. He is in the objective courtyard now. A couple defenders, but they're not in view. Stoney takes out Hubs, so Eclipse should know where he is now. He's actually sprinting forward to take out Stoney, gets him in the back before Stoney can turn around and figure out what's happening. He is now near objective. The only defender really in a good place to stop him would be Bracer, but he's really far back here. We could see a cap. Bracer does push up. He is worried about Sky Joker.
But Sky Joker has a P90, so really nothing to worry about.
Nope, nothing to worry about. Pops out, takes him out. Meanwhile, 1 shot has pushed back down the alley. Gets taken out by Eclipse.
Oh, Eclipse
move on his part.
Oh, Eclipse had tablet out, but then he ran off objective. Bracer coming onto the objective now.
Let's see, we got his tablet out. Tablet out. Oh shit, there's an enemy, and he trades.
I could have uploaded.
He's upset he didn't upload. Or cap, as we would say.
Sounds like Elmer Fudd. Isn't that his name?
It's been a while since I've seen Looney Tunes. I don't remember the cast too well.
See, sorry about not having lasers there. I didn't get to go over my normal checklist as we were kind of scrambling there. They are now on. Thank you for that. One day, I won't forget stuff. One day.
Someday, yes. This was last minute just because my internet was failing. Right as I pressed the stream button, everything just kind of fell apart. But yeah, we didn't really have the full time to go through the checklist. Sorry about that, folks. I'll blame my ISP for that one.
Yeah, I forgot to start recording locally as well, like an idiot. So that rounds out for me on my side.
I've got the footage, so
yeah. So, well, there'll be a couple of different views. Just a reminder, me and Theta both record our matches from our own perspectives, which sometimes differ as we're looking for all the action. So do check out both if you want to see what happens more thoroughly in each game. We do both put it on our YouTube channels. And we announce those in Theta's cult Discord.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kool-Aid. So we got Master Stunta and Stony taking a south approach. I will say, too, it's funny, last time the West Coast Riders were playing, I started saying Master Tuna, and I realize the error of my ways now. It is, in fact, Master Stunta.
Is it actually a mistake, though?
I don't know. Maybe I just had tuna on the mind. Not sure.
Dabalina takes some shots, just kind of shooting at the walls there, hoping to get a lucky pick or at least suppress anybody that is moved down the north wall. Meanwhile, Eclipse is actually prone under these cars. This seems to be a really popular position for these new teams, is to just go prone and shoot under cars or other cover. He actually is in a pretty good spot to catch someone out here if he can get a good angle. Let's just get a first-person view here and see what he can see. He takes out Bracer.
And he's like a little truck goblin or something.
He says on the radio.
He still has 2, though, and it looks like they figured out that somebody's on the street, but that is a nasty little spot. I mean, even if you spot him, he's got such a cover advantage.
I got him. I can see his iPad. He's at least down. He's at least down.
I can see his iPad, he says. I'll have you know that is a cheap rip-off tablet from Alibaba, not an official Apple product. Oh, he just got spotted, though. One Shot Kills just called him out and said there is somebody under that truck. Oh, and Eclipse comes out. One Shot Kills gets taken out by his friend there. It's the Crow Bro.
Meanwhile, over on the east side, Stony hears Cash Crazy talking over on the by the tank wall. Throws a frag over, tries to get him, shoots at the same time, doesn't connect with either. Cash is aware of his position, takes shots at him, but can't quite connect. Crow Bro is ready to support him if needed, as well as Sky Joker, who is peeking out of the blue room. Sky Joker's down, but not out. Res is available. Should be a res, honestly, coming out here.
Yeah, I don't see why not. They could just approach through the blue room.
It's a pretty hard shot here. Just looking through Stoney's view right now. You can see just how small the angle is through those tiny little windows here. A lot of utility coming in on him. I think that flash got him.
Yeah, Flash probably hit both of them, but Cash Crazy sitting still in his spot, taking shots at Master Stunta and Stony. There's no effect here, but it looks like... Oh, there's a friendly fire there with Eclipse and Cash Crazy. Lord Dabalina is creeping in near the objective. Looks like he might run into Eclipse. No, never mind. He is just hanging out in Kiot.
Feel really sorry for Cash Crazy.
Damn, my aim's bad.
Just the end of that.
Oh man, that was some key audio right there.
If you don't mind, Theta, could you check Discord with JamesBowk here? He's possibly going to be joining us for this cast as some analysis.
Okay, let me send him a message here.
I got him. He has the password and everything. He just needs access to your Discord and to be brought into this channel.
Oh, right. Okay. I will send that right now.
Yep.
Excelente. All right. So just as a reminder for all our viewers, while our caster interface is fixed, the issues of the current patch are the same. The players are playing on the same patch that everyone has access to. It has the same audio issues with new downs. It has the same ghost gun issues. Everything else is the same. It's just the casting interface that's changed. Ooh. Eclipse takes out Master Stunner, and Hubs at the same time takes out Stony. Blackwatch takes the round. We are 2-0 here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little less active. I'm just trying to get this squared away with James real quick.
Take your time. Just want to point out some comments. Everyone's talking about how PKM users don't need to aim, including Theta. Basically, PKM users suck. They suck at aiming. They suck at Onward. They suck at life.
Suck at streaming. Just suck at everything. It's true. But, you know, we can compensate for our debilitating insecurities by just bringing a really big gun and shooting it wildly. So that's the benefit of the PKM.
It's a benefit, I suppose. I
would call it a benefit. It helps me just, you know, stop thinking about the meaninglessness of life and how I'm never going to amount to anything without my PKM. So it's fine.
I mean, I didn't want to go there, but yeah, it's pretty much the the bit of it right there. Itty bitty bit.
Just let me have this one thing. Just let me have it. All right, so I made James a streamer, and yeah, he should be able to join us now.
I didn't give him. I didn't touch the voice channel. I forgot.
Oh, okay. I'll fix that then.
Just make him a mod for right now, and then he'll be able to get in.
I'm gonna tell him Mono screwed up the permissions.
I didn't touch your crappy streamer channel. Texting master race. All right, our Marsoc players spawn on the northwest side. On the far side, see how the defenders to choose to defend this objective. This one definitely can go both ways. It's honestly really fun to play, really fun to watch objective. And the defenses honestly are really varied on this one too.
Yeah, this is my favorite objective, personally, on Bazaar.
Yeah, it is a very fun objective. Very well designed. Looks like we have a strong push on the west side. We have 3 players all in the mini market here, ready to push across. One is actually crossing right now. No one's really in a position to see their cross. The defenders are opting to take a pretty tight defense here. 2 on the south wall watching out, 3 near objective, including 1 in the objective room, 1 in the blue room across. Fairly standard defense. I think this should go pretty interestingly here. The only problem is they don't really have anybody watching this back alley near objective, and they could totally get blindsided by this strong 3-man push. Meanwhile, the rest of the offense is choosing to go far east, crossing at tank right now. Nobody is really around to watch their cross. Normally very dangerous, but they should be able to make it across just fine. No problems. One note for hubs here, I would never crouch across this. I would get across as fast as possible. You never ever want to be on the open there, you often get taken out there. Clips taking shots. The guy in the chicken shack on the south wall or southeast wall has been spotted out. Clips trying to get the right angle on him, taking shots but not quite connecting. Meanwhile, we should have a confrontation on the other side of the south wall between Sky Joker and Lord Dabalina. Who put this building here?
How dare you? Looks like CJ Hubs and Eclipse. Oh, and Cash gets a kill there.
Like I was saying, that alley is very dangerous for him, but Eclipse actually takes somebody out, a bracer out on the other side of the wall. This is not looking good for West Coast Riders. Their defense is slowly getting picked apart here. Cash Crazy is pushing up and should be able to get onto objective shortly. If Master Stunner can't take him out, then it's going to look really bad for the defenders here. Stoney pushes back to objective. Eclipse took out Bracer, or finished his down there. Someone else went down. I didn't quite catch it. Should see. Let's get on to Cash Crazy here.
Yeah, I saw.
Stoney takes out Sky Joker.
I saw one of the Marsoc, or excuse me, one of the Volk that was down was trying to give callouts as he was down, so that might have been working against them because it's just static.
It's a nice double. finishing the player, getting a refrag anyway on the player that took out Sky, and then coming around and trading with Master Stunner in objective room. Interestingly, he seemed to be using single shot, even in these CQB style situations.
Yeah, and I just want to point out we do now officially have JamesBowk, co-captain of Mayhem, with us.
Hey everyone, how's it all been going?
Welcome, welcome. We've had some interesting matches here.
Is
Blackwatch
this
is 3-0.
map 1 we've got here?
Yep.
Yes, this is map 1.
What were the first 2 objectives?
We had Split Street and we had the East Plaza kind of objective.
Awesome.
So
So
we
we're
have
coming
one
into
more.
round 4
Yep.
now, so that should be defense on South, Split Street.
Yes, yeah, we have one more defense here. Then we'll be changing objectives if West Coast Riders can take a point on this map.
This is probably, barring the really rush push attack on this objective, this is one of the more defendable objectives on Bazaar.
All right.
And why do you say that? Just for our rookie viewers at home, get some education.
I feel like you can shut down the approaches more readily. You can get to cover the really open areas as a defender before the attackers can get there. So you can really shut down the map. And so attacks need to come with more coordination and more use of cover like smokes and distracting fire.
What do you think about considering that the smokes are now so much less effective of covering, like visual cover? The little smoke puffs that they put out is just like a far cry from the old 1.7 smokes.
It's where you need to be more using other distracting techniques potentially. This
So
is where
maybe
you'll,
like
you'll
some-
see teams at the moment with the way in which the smokes are currently. You'll see smokes going directly onto objective with
Right.
that straight on push, because then you can really shut down that objective building. That's
As
one of
it
the most
blinds the
common
players,
pushes of an attack onto this. Is that straight
You
on?
guys need to watch for each other, alright?
Alrighty, so we have 3 players for the Marsoc team on the east side, holding words, I can do it. Holding back pretty far, trying to get some picks on some enemy players possibly pushing up. None of them take the bait though. 2 go down center market area. No one is on objective. This defense is extremely pushed out.
Yeah.
This is where the straight in push is really effective. You should always have it as, something up your sleeve. It looks like they are doing that with one-shot kills and Stony.
And Hubs.
Yeah, you can't see the map for us, James, but there's no one, not even close to objective right now for the defenders.
Yeah, center approach is wide open. There's 2 in the market on Marsoc's side. If they just ran in, they could potentially cap it. But CJ Hubs about to run into Bracer and 2 other West Coast riders, and he misses the shot.
He does reposition after that shot, which is good on him. It's really dangerous for him to continue peeking from that alley. Bracer, to reinforce that point, takes shots at it.
Yeah, I'm zooming my way around trying to find everyone. Much
If
easier
you
if you actually
actually,
have the overlay properly.
If you check my stream, you can kind of have a mostly up-to-date mini-map.
Also,
on your
James,
second screen.
one feature that should work right now is pressing M. That'll bring up your map. That should still give you positions. It's my understanding. That'll still work.
That would be brilliant if it did.
Oh, dang. I thought it did. Oh, that's right. Etch is using the different build. I forgot. My apologies.
We've had one person crash onto objective. Dangerous cross. Straight in front of objective, crossing from west to east. To get into that dark room, into that blue room.
And Eclipse playing the role of Belly Boy of the Year on this one. He is prone every round on this, but he has a very nice angle on anybody that's showing up where Stony is. Stony stands up, he will get shot.
Kind of funny. I just kind of imagine he's like, I didn't want to play. I mean, I'm just tired. I just want to lay down. Okay, I'm just gonna play laying down. Screw this.
He's gonna take a nap underneath one of these red trucks. Why not?
Yeah. Man, at many points in the game here, if the players in the center market just pushed over to objective, they would have got a cap. No one would have known.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean they don't know that, and it's smart to assume that they are not going to have it wide open.
Just going for the straight in, no cover, walk across the street.
Yeah, very dangerous.
He's gonna make it though, if he doesn't get team killed by Stony.
Oof.
That is.
Cash takes out Hubs. Take the objective, he says. We get a trade between Stony and Eclipse. However, if one shot pushes this advantage, he could get a cap.
Yeah, one shot's in position to get the cap now. If he runs into that room...
Why is he going outside?
Oh, no.
Outside?
Oh, no.
Let me know if he starts capping.
He's capping.
He's
capping.
Okay. He's going to get seen by Sky Joker here. He's just coming for a res.
He's been called out by the guy across the street.
But they couldn't hear...
And he gets the confirm.
What are you doing, Sky Joker?
Oh no, one shot kills had the opportunity, but he confirmed the kill instead of capping.
He's now going back to capping.
Yeah.
They've called out OBJ multiple times. No one has reacted to it.
Well, he was down initially, and you can't use the radio while you're down right now, so I think that's what was junking it up.
I just heard an alive person call it out.
Seemed to kill someone else. Why'd you shoot him, Sky Joker?
Oh boy.
Oh man, one shot. You cap like me.
Yeah, that was a mono cap to be sure.
That was definitely a mono cap.
Shut up! I feel ganged up on in here. Okay.
Yeah, this is becoming a new meme. Even the new players are calling it.
Cap like that.
I just want to say for the record, I was in a lobby the other day and someone actually called it a mono cap.
Oh
and
God!
It's becoming a meme.
I don't like that.
To be fair, I did a cap the other day which took 30 seconds. Admittedly, I started counting from when we spawned in, but that's fine.
Shut up, James. Why did I bring you in here?
I didn't want you to come in here just to flex on us. Jesus.
It was in a pub. Mono and I were just having some fun.
Let me guess, rolling with an MP5 as well.
Ooh, no, it might have been P90.
Oh God, don't say that in public. You're gonna give Sky Joker ideas. There's a player on Blackwatch who is convinced, his name's Sky Joker, that P90s are the greatest guns in the game. Maybe you can educate him on this cast about why that's not the case.
They're not. The problem with the P90 is the bounce of the first shot. So it's got such a high fire rate, which is great. However, the recoil from the first shot means that you don't really get, like, your first two bullets are so far separated, and because this game has such low time to kill, you're better off running a gun with lower recoil, with a slightly lower fire rate. He's
actually rolling with an AUG right now too, so he just seems to have a catalog of not so great weapons in his back pocket.
Bracer on North Street almost saw somebody cross, but didn't quite, or maybe he did. He did, actually. He did catch that they made it across. He's trying to get a peek through this window here. He should catch out Cash Crazy if he has good eyesight, as he's, Cash Crazy is hiding behind. Oh, never mind. He was completely included.
Bracer gets Cash Crazy in the north.
Bracer was ready. I was not.
Somebody on Volk is quest farting right now, too. I hope that does not give them away. It looks like Stony88.
Sky Joker is moving into some action in what we would call blue.
I have eyes on him. Feel free to make use of camera 3 to bring us to whatever you're looking at by pressing Control and 3, and then it'll drop a camera that I can jump onto. Okay. Objective will now be will be number 4.
Okay.
Hubs and Sky Joker are working together to clear the buildings to the east of the objective.
They do know that they are there as he threw a smoke. Crowbro takes out Dabalina with his SA-80. The south is open right now, actually, for Marsoc to push into objective.
This is not a coordinated defense. This southwest approach is not covered. Oh, as I say that, he spun and took a good position.
He's listening. Clips takes out Massive Sunny, calls out his kill. He's now behind cover here.
Bracer
West
takes
Coast
2.
Riders down to 1.
Yeah, Bracer got 2. He did not finish Sky Joker, though. Admittedly, Sky Joker not in a position to get res, and they can't communicate with the radio. But don't forget to double tap your kills, guys. And Eclipse
Especially Sky
proning
Joker.
one more time.
I think everyone should take a drink every time Eclipse goes prone.
You're gonna cause people to black out if you do that.
You know, if we're all having fun, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, though, it's not a terrible position to be prone. No one will expect you, then you have visual cover.
I'm just checking out the weapons we've got.
Oh, Clips, nice snapshot.
Beautiful, nice fucking work, buddy.
There we go. Clip had a really nice snapshot into Bracer 29 to end that round. Blackwatch takes the map 4-2 against West Coast Riders, goes 1 up. As far as map wins are concerned, we'll see what we have next for the next map. What do you think of that defense, James?
Initially, I think there's a little bit of a case of getting distracted by things occurring in your zone which you're not meant to be covering, which resulted in areas not having cover. However, you know, that objective is very hard to defend. Once you get a bit further into the defense, as soon as you're getting down to, you know, 2 or 1 remaining, it's not really a defense you can sustain. You have to be rotating in order to cover, and if an attack is patient, they should win it every time against a lone defender.
What specific tips do you maybe have in mind that they could have done to improve that defense?
I think it's about knowing what your 3-man defense is. I talk about this quite a lot. Your 5-man defense is great, and establishing your lines, you know, for that when you've got all 5 people up, it's good to know and good to have. But you've always got to assume that you're going to lose people. So you need to have that 3-man defense. How would you cover this objective and still have it adequately covered with 3 defenders alive? And it's about everyone being on the same page, so that when that occurs, because it will occur, everyone knows how they need to rotate in order to get that cover. And they need to coordinate together. It's not just a case of someone needs to move to a certain position. They need to move to a certain position and cover a certain direction, and know that the other directions are covered by their friendlies, because you can't leave a hole open. Getting capped on in this game is devastating. Yeah, that would be my more than 2 cents worth.
There's your words of wisdom, West Coast Riders and Blackwatch.
Take notes.
I think that is a good point. Yeah, it's not something people bring up that often, that you need to, you know, pay attention to what happens after the optimal situation has came and gone.
Yeah, if you're only training for the best case scenario, you're training wrong.
Yeah, I think as soon as you get less than 3, you start to get into, you know, having to do rotations and more of a, you know, defenses are very compressed in, and you're getting into non-optimal defenses. However, you should try and have a solid defense planned for that 3-man scenario.
Got some pre-fire from Sky Joker, lane 3, the no-no zone. C4 goes out right in the middle of the playground, right in the sand. I can't even see it. I saw it go down, and I can't see it.
Worth noting that may have been an early C4, something just to note. If
He can throw it, he just hasn't exploded. You can't.
Oh, I heard a was it a frag then? I heard a explosion.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he blew it up. Yeah, he actually took somebody out behind center house. He has a ghost gun, at least for me.
Yeah.
West Coast Riders are down 1 player. They have taken the center house, though. They have someone's second story. One shot is got Crowbro, who is prone behind the APC. Takes him out. Got some nice suppressive fire coming out of one shot, keeping their attention, keeping their heads down. Just tries to peek him. Shoots through the hedges, but can't quite reach him as One Shot has raised his gun above the sandbags and have been firing in. Nice!
Oh!
Frag.
Nice
Gets
frag.
One Shot. Hopefully he heard that so he can try to confirm it.
That was an excellent throw.
It's right now on Eclipse. Oh, that's breaching clear.
I don't know if there's another. I'm nading.
Lord Dabalina is making a lot of sound with that feedback.
Come on.
Yeah, and he gets taken out by the ghost. Stony gets a revive.
There it is.
Sky
that's
Joker
Ghost gunning
finishes
me
Stony.
too.
I like
Yeah, Blackwatch ends up winning. Sky Joker often has ghost guns, I found. Coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah, you notice with certain players, I'm not sure if it's a proximate, like where they're located in the world or something like that, or their internet quality. I don't know. We don't know the reason, the cause of it.
Speaking of that, if you have any suspicions, if you have any specific ideas, the devs are all ears as they're trying to solve this problem. And they can always just use more insight if you have any particular suspicions. Or just really any bugs, just try to report them.
I just want to say I'm so happy we have this build for casting at the very least. Because having...
Yeah, we'll have to
Yes.
hook you up, James.
This build.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Yes.
download the whole game, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
unless you want to do that really quick, you're not going to have it. Just have
Yeah.
my stream open the second one, and you can see the mini map at the very least.
I could download it. It's not
You
hard.
can just live vicariously through us.
I have the gigabit.
All right, I will get that for you.
I'll at least have it downloaded for next time. I feel bored and want to join you guys.
Absolutely.
If you'll have me after this time.
Keep providing
Yeah.
this great information, and I'm sure they'll start requesting you.
You know how much I love to talk tactics.
Yeah, we know how much you like to talk tactics.
Yes, very familiar. But it's fine. We learned so much.
If you're listening.
That's another question. Man, Stony88 is quest farting left and right, and that is not helpful if you're on bulk. I will say that. I
Hold
hope,
your gas in, Stony.
seriously, watch what you're eating before the game. It's not healthy to fart that much. But I think it is just volume on the headset, right? It's just feedback?
I think it's that feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
That's what someone
do you
told me.
know? What do you know how to adjust that? Like, could you just kind of run us through it?
Run
Just
an
really
external
basically?
headset if you can. Get some external headphones or
Stony almost gets shot by 2 players as he quickly peeks from
Yeah.
the second story center house.
He
Throws a
was-
frag out.
He was really tempting fate with that peek right there, because there were 2 lasers trained on the window.
even if you just have some earbuds lying around, Stony, I would put them in.
Yeah, man. James is gonna mute you, and he's only casting.
No, I just mean for his own good, because he's the enemy knows he's there.
Right. Put him in the most obvious positions.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Marsoc has pushed up into the east side of the map, southeast side of the map, near the playground and the APC. They are now
This lane
watching
4 cross has
Spawnhouse.
actually become a lot more viable now.
I
With it
love
being
lane
opened
4.
up.
Lane 4 is the best lane. Sometimes when I get to
It
play
is
in
the
it.
lane of never mono.
Yeah, Mono's
like
mistaken
this.
in believing that that it's his lane, when we all know it's actually my lane.
Mono decides to complain about Suburbia for multiple seasons and then thinks that he gets to have a lane.
I also just want to point out that the complaints come even though we didn't play Suburbia once last season. I think we were the only team that
That's
did
not
that.
true. It's
Yes,
not
it is.
true.
Yes, it
Played
is.
We
once.
played it.
We were
Yeah,
forced to play it in
yeah, we were
round-
forced
It-
in
Well, in the tournament, yeah, but in the regular season we did not.
Oh, darn! I
Good
missed
team.
that one. He wasn't. They weren't gonna get a cap on that one. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
They'd
that
have to
was,
gone through the house and then snuck up while he was distracted.
They
I
were
guess it's
stormy.
possible.
You can cap from upstairs, I believe. You can cap from outside a lot of different locations. You used to be able to cap from upstairs.
What?
Yep, you can cap from outside the garage. There's no reason to go inside. If you know where the defender is likely to be, and one of those common spots is the backside of the objective, that south side, looking through that window, you don't have to expose yourself to him. You don't have to go inside the garage. You can cap from the outside on the northwest corner or the northeast corner.
I'm currently flabbergasted that you could or can cap from the upstairs on that objective. I've never, ever seen it.
I
Same.
have done it in 1.7, I believe, or maybe an earlier build. It's doable, or it used to be doable. Be worth checking because I'm not sure what's been placed in that room anymore.
There's the
Whether
same
you
kind
can,
of bed layout.
Yeah,
I don't know
just
if
looking
you
through
can
the
go on
window
top
now.
of it and stuff. Looking
Well, you
through
want to be
the
down
window,
low
but
as
can't
low
fit.
as possible.
Right, but you can kind of, looks like there's possibly room between the nightstands, or the table and the
Yeah.
nightstand and the bed.
That
but I'm not
objective's
sure.
very close down there, so I think, I wouldn't be surprised if it's viable still.
That's something I definitely want to test out.
But that objective you can cap from so many places. You can't let them get control of the garden of Spawnhouse. As soon as you let them get control of the north side of Spawnhouse, unless you have multiple defenders alive, it's a cap with any coordinated team. So you need to make sure that your controlling line stops them from getting into the north side of Spawnhouse. So you really need to, having a position which looks across is quite common. So near that trash can, looking across, or the other side looking across. Things like that.
Oh man. Okay, so this trash can here, I assume this is what he's talking about. I was trying to jump on the cameras to see if you were motioning to what you were talking about, and lo and
How do I do
behold,
this?
I find this picture. Well,
I was going to
first
see
you
if
have
you
to
were going to
press 2 and
discover
check
it.
this out. You have to press 2 and check this
press
old
2?
picture out.
Oh, what?
Yeah, press.
Yes.
Okay, so if you press the
I haven't
button.
seen that before. Yeah, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we were
Oh,
joking yesterday that half of Suburbia's texture budget went into making that look good because it's probably the finest looking texture on the whole map.
It is pretty good looking.
So
I
to
mean,
drop the
the
camera,
llama, obviously.
if you want to drop a camera, you hold control and then press the hotkey. Your key will be 3. Mine is 1. Theta's is 2. Cash
And
Crazy downs 1 in center.
Stony
center house.
and Eclipse about to meet up on lane 4. Eclipse throws a smoke. Stony might catch him. Oh, and they trade.
Skyjoker's
Didn't quite
spot is
catch
a
him,
good spot
unfortunately.
here.
Yeah,
see
I
right
was
across the
watching him
lap
throw
to
a
lane-
frag.
The lane
Or I thought
one
it
from
was a
here.
frag. Nicely cooked grenade, but not quite close enough to Sky Joker. Needed to go just a tad bit farther. Master Stunner has taken up a position on the second story of Center House, looking out. Crowbro is just back here on the corner, near the spawn house. Could catch Master Stunner out if he sticks his head out too far. Dabalina downs Hubs with a grenade. So really worried about that second story house. However, if he looks at his map, he might see Master Stunner has taken up a position there. We need to see a little bit more team communication from the teams here. Sky Joker takes out Bracer from his little position.
Skyjoker needs to just take a half step forward. Yep, good. Oh, Skyjoker's given up his position. He's going for the revive.
Yep.
Probably worried about this side as well, seeing that his friendly was downed over there.
And this should come out without any issues because everybody is on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, they're
Both
really
defenders getting distracted by it though. This is not a good.
Oh no.
thing for
Oh
them.
no. Eclipse is calling out an enemy on APC, but that is a friendly.
He's gonna pay for team killing me.
He
downed Crow, bro. Now they're calling out, right?
They're calling out.
Dude, that's bad.
I
Wow.
hope he confirms them too.
Joker's just realized.
Behind APC.
Oh, they've completely forgotten about the objective and about lane 1.
That was our guy.
Sorry.
Then neither of them got caught out while running across in the
There
open.
needed to
here.
be a bit of coordination between Joker and Crowbro there. One of them needed to go for the revive whilst the other held lane 1. They've sacrificed lane 1, which has allowed the Marsok to take control of lane 1 APC, which is a very powerful staging post. now they have control right across the map along that south street. So any rotations back to get cover onto objective is going to get shut down straight away.
That's our guy.
Hubs is probably like, I hope my team's doing all right.
They're just gonna leave me to bleed out. It's fine. It's fine, guys.
Oh man.
At some point, they should just yell to distract them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They called out somebody in playground here, trying to get a vision on. They saw the cross to APC. Skyjoker peeks out, trying to get a pick here. Can't
This
quite
would be the
connect.
perfect spot for Skyjoker to go prone and look underneath that tread.
Only Eclipse is allowed to go prone. Speaking of Eclipse, he takes out Master Sun near center house. They're aware of it. They get a nice refrag from one-shot kills in center house, taking out Eclipse.
It's narrowed down to
Defenders are left at 2.
2v2. And I'm not sure what Crowbro is doing. He's just hanging out in that corner. Oh, here we go. Okay, he rotated around.
He's kind of aware. He doesn't want to watch the same way. He hears the fire from one-shot kills and gets like a nice shot on him.
That's how you work together there. Skyjoker didn't try and get him. He got his friendly to take him out.
And Lord Dabalina all by himself, lane 1, taking
Skyjoker
shots.
should be able to call out where he is.
Dabalina almost takes out Skyjoker, but he pulls it behind cover just in time. Get your butt around the corner.
Ooh, Skyjoker's double peeking.
peeks and stay. His gun is now a ghost gun. It wasn't before. I don't know what's with that. This is a tough position for
That's the right
Dabalina, as they
call.
know he knows his position.
Ooh, he is.
There's only about
Oh,
30
no.
seconds left, too.
His
He just
gun
ran out of
loaded.
ammo. He's got 30
Does Dabalina
seconds
have
to do
any
this.
utility? Oh,
Oh.
why did he triple peek?
Yeah, so try not to peek the same angle, the same side if possible. If you can't like move up or reposition, you can always alternate between shooting from the side of the HESCO, shooting over the top, shooting from the other side, going prone. There's a lot of options you have even with a limited cover like that.
And in a position like that, he could have found a line which held where Dabalina had to move to.
And
He was trying to hold a line on Dabalina directly, so Dabalina could poke out and shoot him, which is what occurred. If he held a line, knowing that Dabalina's in that location, Dabalina at some point has to move out of there. And as soon as he's in the open, that's when you can attack him.
And West Coast Riders ran out of time on that. It's too bad. It was a 1v1, and he was within striking distance of the last person, just spent a little too much time lane 1. So Blackwatch goes up to 3. That was
I think we had a possibility of a clutch there.
Yep.
However, he at the pivotal moment when he could have taken out Skyjoker, he ran out of had no ammo in his gun, so he had to reload, take the time, get a sight picture back on Skyjoker to take him out, confirm him, and then move forward. Speaking of the time there as well, Skyjoker, if he knew what the time was, I wasn't honestly paying attention to that. I didn't hear it or know. I wasn't looking at the timer. But if he knew that there was so much time off, he could have just hid. And like James is saying, just cover the close angle in case he just rushed forward.
Yep.
And that's what confuses me, because there was some great coordination play from Skyjoker, and he called out that there's 40 seconds remaining. He said that to his friendly. And then they almost threw it away. They just need to act appropriately based upon that information. Don't go for the glory. Force the Marsok to make the move, and then take him out.
They're
No, you
currently
don't.
talking about. I have a question for you, James. Here, are you allowed to use a spot where you're dancing in and out 50% in a wall, like clipping in the wall?
As long as you're not clipping more than 50%, it is legal.
But let's say
Yeah.
he was just like bouncing back and forth, and he went 50% clip every second, every other second, something like that. Like he wasn't staying in there, but he was just bouncing back and forth.
Well, you're using that 50 extra. You're using that greater than 50% clipping to gain an advantage. If you transition through a 50% clipping and it's not a purposeful type clip, then that would be generally regarded as being acceptable because of the way in which the body, is related to the head movement in this game. You can't always be aware of where you are, but if you are holding a position which requires you to be clipped or, clipping regularly, then it's not going to be looked on upon positively. We haven't had many instances where we've had to enforce that. I don't believe we've done anything greater than give warnings at this point. However, it's not something we want to see occurring regularly again, because it was a common feature, I think, the season before last.
Eclipse on lane 4, about to approach the objective. He is right on it. Oh, and he gets caught out by Bracer on the tank.
Ah.
And
He had the opportunity to move directly to cover there, but he ran straight onto the open.
yeah, if he'd stopped behind that Hesco and just checked tank, he could have had a double there, I think. Maybe even a triple if he spotted Lord Dabalina, but yeah, rushing to the objective, getting a little cap fever there might have worked against him.
Ooh, Stoney decides to pop out, try to get the pick in lane 1. Gets totally destroyed by 2 players, both watching for him. Lane 1 is now open to the offense as they push up
He's
quickly.
hitting the wall in front of
Bracer,
him a lot there.
Bracer was out in the open on the edge of tank, gets taken out. That's just one thing to keep in mind. If you get taken out doing a ballsy move, your friendlies have to deal with that hole that has just been opened up by your lack of presence there.
Yeah.
As you were defending a lane.
That's
especially
why
in a map like this.
you need to be so much more careful in competition settings for that very reason, because the moment you lose even one person in this game, that's a serious disadvantage. So you just need to be careful, because you're hurting your team if you do something reckless.
Dabalina is not aware that he's the last man. He just called out to a non-existent friendly.
Skyjoker, I think, heard him as he sneakily crawls up. I'd like to see a cap here. Hubs is pushing up. He could possibly get one on the side there.
Oh, Skyjoker did not
You go
move
behind
on.
that Hesco, you can cap.
He needs a distraction, but Skyjoker isn't paying attention to his friendlies.
you just
Could be
crouch there,
coordinating.
he's good.
Skyjoker's capping.
Get it.
Skyjoker's capping.
Skyjoker knew exactly where he was. Don't shoot him. Don't. Oh, good.
And the cap
Nicely
goes out.
done. Not engaging.
Blackwatch take 5-0 on West Coast Riders. Suburbia, they have technically won the series for this ScrimCast. Again, this is just a scrim, though. It's all about learning. But that was a really convincing win for Blackwatch there, especially that objective. They pushed up. They took each angle cautiously, but with enough time to push the objective and get a cap.
Yeah, nice work. Very nice work. Yeah,
I'd
especially
see a slightly longer range map for this last one. Be interesting to see the difference.
How about cargo?
How about cargo?
let's bring up the exact opposite of what James wants.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I feel like we've seen a lot of uncontrolled plays already, so it would have been interesting to see the, a bit more setup, taking the time to work together on that defense. Uncontrolled plays can work really well because they can take people by surprise. However, it is good to also have those controlled defenses and attacks.
Yeah, just from the chat, Milliam bringing up that can watch this footage and get some quality feedback out of it. I think this will be incredibly educational for both sides, especially having James on the co-cast here. And I bring this up a lot, but I think it's worth just mentioning again. These are scrims. These are supposed to be educational. You do these specifically so that you don't make mistakes during real matches. You can kind of work things out. And, taking an L in a scrim really doesn't mean much. So, if you lose one, don't beat yourself up too hard about it.
You want to take it seriously, and you want to play in a manner which is you're wanting to, try and emulate a league match as much as possible. So, don't just go into a scrim and just muck around.
Of course, yeah.
Try things out, but try out realistic things. Don't load in with a P90. Don't load in, unless you specifically really, really want to use a P90 in an actual league match, and you're going to do that, fine, but there are things to try, which, like tactics, and then there's things not to try, like random weapons, unless you're actually planning on using it in a league match.
Just want to point out that what James meant to say is don't use a P90, Skyjoker. How could you? What is wrong with you?
Or an AUG.
What?
Oh, we get a really
Even
aggressive
I'm not
defense.
voting for the org, and I come from a country which he's actually using a P90. Holy crap!
Yep.
Hubs takes out massive stunner here. He saw his really aggressive push on the east side here. One player in the yellow room, I believe it's called, and one behind barrels have a nice position over watching objective. Sony is near objective as well to stop that close cap. Sky Joker takes out Bracer with his P90. Bro goes down. One shot goes down. B Clips also gets downed and confirmed by Dabalina. Ooh, not looking good for the West Coast Riders. A really
Sky Joker is
aggressive.
ripping it up with his P90 just to prove a point.
I'm down 2.
Why did you say that, James?
Yeah, now he's going to clip this and just rub it in our faces constantly.
That's cool. Flukes happen.
Gets a res to Sky Joker, the hero of this round. Oh, and Hubs gets a nice shot on Stoney. The cap was available. Not enough communication there about a possible cap. That's something everyone, or a lot of teams, I should say, could definitely work on. Is that transition from kill the enemy team to possibly get like a cap on if everyone works together and goes into capping mode.
And it's hard to do. You know, we still have problems with that sometimes. Mayhem have problems with that.
Right, totally, for sure. Like
Especially
even
if we
teams
have to
with
wait
high
like
up-
30 seconds for a cap to come out, you know.
yeah.
Like,
But no,
Who was
to be
that?
fair, we've had a couple of scenarios lately where, we've called out cap, and it hasn't been coordinated properly, but that's, at least you're trying.
Because it's kind of interesting because you have to go against your natural instinct. You see an enemy player, you shoot him, but you have to do the exact opposite. And in fact, the best course of action is getting their attention and holding it to allow the capper to have the time to move up and cap on the objective.
which might even mean that you get shot, which is again
And then
like,
your KD goes down. Oh,
well, yeah, I mean,
but it's all about teamwork, right?
no, it's all about KDRs. That's just rule number one.
Okay.
If you can do something, if you know it's the last person and you can do something to distract them, like triple peek a corner, like get them focused on you to give those extra couple of seconds to the person on objective, that can be 2 points. It's a whole extra round you don't have to play.
And everyone knows we don't play this game to actually play, right?
Mm-mm.
No, we play to win.
Oh,
Definitely is
snap.
pushing down
That
tunnel.
was
Cash
wait,
is ready.
These are 5
though.
minute rounds now, aren't they?
Yep.
Yes. So definitely the full 5 minutes.
1 second,
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, Cash Crazy takes out Dabalina here. Haven't had much airtime, Theta, as James has been hogging it all. Good thing he's not here to hear this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on the current matches, what everything that's been happening?
No, I'm just enjoying watching these teams get better with every match that I cast with them. And
Yeah, one shot takes out Hubs in the center of the map. Just adding to that point, I think that Blackwatch has definitely vastly improved, especially on this map. That last round was a really convincing win for them.
yeah, I haven't done an official count, but I believe Blackwatch is my most casted team at this point. Oh, and Cash Crazy and Bracer trade. Neither of them is dead. It looks like Bracer has the potential. Wow, they both seem to have teammates in close proximity. We'll see if a res comes out on either of them.
Stoney could get a confirm here as well, just
Yep.
the same amount of time.
Oh, he might catch Sky Joker on the revive if he comes. Oh. Oh, no. That was unfortunate.
Stoney gets him, but the revive does happen. One player for one. Let's see how West Coast Riders decides to push this advantage as they have 3 players to block Watch's 2. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Of course, Lipinski would say he loves this map and training and all this fake garbage. He just likes rushing people and destroying them. Okay, so how are the Blackwatch last 2 men up choosing to defend this objective? They have one on kind of like this back area behind the buildings on the east side. and one in the same building. So I guess they have one person watching his back and the other watching the objective here.
Yeah.
I think this is a defense that can work out here.
Oh, and that was a ghost
Sky
gun.
Joker has a ghost gun. Sky Joker always has a ghost gun.
Starting to feel like less of a coincidence, considering how common it is.
It seems to happen all the time, and I remember playing in pubs with him, and he had a ghost gun more often than not. He does get the confirm off, so that's good. And West Coast Riders only have 2 players in order to make this push happen. Master Stunner does take out Crowbro from a really tight angle here.
Yeah, Sky Joker is probably going to see him, but Bracer is coming through the middle here. Bracer goes down silently, and it is just Master Stunta left on Marsoc.
I didn't even see that other guy die. I guess it was Ghost Gun. So
Yeah, it was completely silent, but he was in the middle. So Sky Joker is being informed by DeCrowbro because they are close enough to hear each other. Master Stunta about to move into the open, which is likely to get him shot. He just got called out.
Pushing grenade alley.
And Sky Joker throws invisible bullets, visible, soundless bullets,
I got you, buddy.
taking out Master Stunner.
He just fires
That was
mine
really
bullets.
hard for Stunter there, because if it was, you know, silent for Stunter, he had no idea where the shot's coming from. For when his friendly was killed.
I just want to say though that he did have an opportunity to finish his kill, but for whatever reason he didn't take that shot. And if Crowbro was dead, then he, you know, Sky Joker wouldn't have that constant up-to-date information, allowing him to really hone in on the opposition at the opportune time.
Another thing to note is Cargo is a great map to rotate on. It's not so good a map to keep pushing the push you have once you've exposed yourself. You know, if you can work together with a friendly across the map, that's great. Otherwise, if you're an individual attacking, you can do a lot of damage, and because you have a lot of time, you can probe. You can probe, try and get one, and then you can go a completely different direction and get another probe in there.
Not to mention that the 5-minute timer is actually pretty long on Cargo, so you have time to do these rotations.
Yep.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, in like quarantine, it would take you like 2 years to get to the other side.
Quarantine rotations are no longer viable. With 6-minute timer, you used to be able to get one in, like get a chance for something to go wrong a little bit, and then, you know, get one rotation in. With the 5-minute timer, it's not really viable to rotate anymore, unfortunately.
Quarantine, just a different map altogether at this point.
There is so much to clear on Quarantine. It is... Ooh. Yep. It's a big ask.
Yeah, you can.
I think Quarantine, we're going to see a lot of attacking wins.
Shoulders come back here. Why move?
Actually, I think we're going to see a lot of, like, not knowing which way it's going to go, because it really depends whether the attackers are going to choose an attacking line on Quarantine, and if the defenders get lucky and happen to be covering it, they're going to get shut down. If they don't get lucky, it could be a cap every single round.
Yep, been seeing a lot of caps and a lot of timeouts on Quarantine the last few casts I've had with
nice
it.
rush cooking up here. Smokes have been thrown. Sky Joker gets taken out. Crowbro takes out Stony with a grenade in grenade corner here. Some nice fire coming out of the both teams, just kind of suppressing all the angles. Cash takes Master Stunner. Nice accurate shot with his M16. Bracer was almost ready for Eclipse, but gets caught out. Eclipse is doing a nice rotation here. All his friendlies are actually up on every angle, so there's not really anywhere he can go. So he just goes back the same way. One shot takes out Crowbro.
Why hasn't he revived him?
I don't know. Dabalina has places to be, people to see, just
Yeah.
not Stony.
Check your tablet, guys. Check your tablet.
I mean, they're right
there
next
we
to
go.
each other, and he's like, "Are you gonna res me?" I guess not. Well, Dabalina is running around the corner here, trades with Eclipse.
Oh,
Another trade?
and now it's his turn to not get revived. Oh, the tides have turned. So,
Whereas,
Two-man defense on this is so powerful compared to a one-man.
as
Yeah.
Wookie would say, how the turntables have turned.
mm-hmm.
Bro, pick me up.
One shot kills. About to
He's
get.
heard him. He's heard him.
Yeah,
he's
he
him.
heard the shots. He turned around, and he is
He's
about to pop
making
him.
Too much noise. Oh, shoots him in the arm. Almost gets taken out himself. You could hear that he did get wounded there. But he did come out on top there, giving them a point on the board here in cargo.
Yep. That was...
Lipinski is now saying he had no idea that the timer was 5 minutes. That's the Animal House playstyle, folks.
Because they want that round over in a minute or less. Just rush on in. So 2-1. I want to see some capping going on here. Let's see. So this is one of the... James, you should offer some analysis here. I personally think this is one of the harder objectives to capture on cargo because you're behind the container. The one in front of it you can just kind of storm and smoke, but this one requires a little bit more coordination. What would your thoughts be on that?
I'd say that's fair. Again, it's hard to defend if you pick off people. It's hard to defend with 2 remaining. Definitely very hard to defend with 1 remaining because you can cap from inside the red container. You can also cap on the other side of that box, on the eastern side of that box. It's quite a good spot. So you could be hidden there from various locations. I've done a couple of caps in that location. But yes, it's definitely more defensible than the previous objective because you can let them, if they cross that open area, it's not the end of the world. Whereas on the previous one, you can't let them cross the open area just to the south of that red container. Area and point on my camera.
Got it.
So yeah, similar defense required, but probably defenders shouldn't need to be as pushed out on this. Often on the previous objective, you need to push out 1 or 2, a little bit more. On this one, not so much.
See how the defenders choose to get this one. We have a early smoke going right in the center of the map.
Yeah,
unfortunately lands on top of the roof there.
They're getting really aggressive on defense. Hubs and Eclipse about to see one-shot kills. I think Eclipse might just prone his way into a kill here.
If one-shot kills goes in around the building and checks the other one, he'll get hubs as well. Don't know if he heard him take the building.
Oh, and
Stony team kills. I wasn't ready for that one. Stony.
There's been a lot of team kills this round.
I know you want to. Oh, and then he gets taken out by Hubs, who has a nice angle from the corner of the building. He decides to rotate to a different spot in the same building here. Oh,
nice grenade.
Eclipse should be ready for him.
Yeah, they just called out. They called it out. They know he's down because of that grenade, and Eclipse is watching that like a hawk. He's going to rotate around and watch the middle.
Master Thunder should have gone for the confirm there rather than Bracer. Bracer is silhouetting himself going for that. Stunter could have got it from a much safer angle.
Eclipse now watching as he heard the shot, but Bracer did pull out of the building here. Meanwhile, Master Stunter, almost gets C4'd, but the C4 was too far on the roof. He runs in the center, not sure where to look, and gets shot from all angles. He does take out Eclipse, though, on his way out, so good job there. We are now down to a 3v2, 3 for Blackwatch, 2 on West Coast Riders.
West Coast Riders here could have held a line at the start, which can stop people getting barrels. It wasn't smoked, and it could have been held. In worst case, even if you don't actually kill them on the way to barrels, which is Cash Crazy's position right now, then at least you know he's there and you can frag him. This position is very powerful, especially if you haven't identified as there.
Bracer gets taken out by Crowbro, who has a nice little defensive position, grenade corner, looking over these barrels. Really hard to see.
Should be a pick on objective here.
Yeah, Dabalina, gets spotted by Sky Joker and taken out. Blackwatch go 3-1.
Nice defense. Yeah, a couple of kind of, I would argue, a little crazy crosses out in the open there, especially near Yellow Room. Cost West Coast Riders pretty heavily there. This is Yellow Room right here. The barrels are on the other side of it as well. And just to visualize what James was saying, Marsoc can run over here at the beginning and shoot down this line, just kind of catching them out as they cross over the barrels in the open. And I mean, it can be a hard shot. So if you at least know they're there, information is power.
Just knowing someone's in behind the barrels, you could grenade them, you could flash them, you could storm it. It's just so powerful to know where they're going to be, especially on a small map like Cargo.
It's once they're there, it's very hard to rotate out of. So knowing an enemy is there is almost as good as actually catching them on the way there. Because of that, as Mono was saying, because of the utility, the ability to use utility, you can take them out easily.
Yeah, it's just really powerful, but also has its downsides. This objective is kind of an interesting one, as the defenders have to cross the open, the same kind of opening that I was talking about earlier, to get to the objective. A lot of players die trying to cross this early when Marsoc is pre-firing or ready to fire on the opposing players crossing here. Speaking of, it looks like the defenders are doing a pretty aggressive push down the center.
Yeah, heavily slanted towards the objective.
Takes out Dabalina. Two players take out the center building.
Nobody on objective, though. That is an interesting setup.
They've pushed up aggressively here. It's going to be hard to rotate on.
Eclipse?
You can...
Eclipse on the objective side, but he is basically alone. I mean, he can run over and cap this right now. Masta Stunta goes down. He was the only one with a potential angle there. One shot kills the left in the center. If Eclipse gets there...
If they've got their kill count going here...
Yeah, I mean, Eclipse should be able to do this.
Or we wanted him to die there. His team's probably screaming.
One shot can get to a position to hold this objective. If he goes triple stack right now, he can look on objective. He knows that he's the last one. He just looked at his tablet.
Eclipse clearing, but one shot is running back.
Let's jump on the one shot here. See the panic. Oh, he knows where the opposing player is.
The kill instead. Interesting move.
Ooh, what the?
What was that sound I just heard?
He should have rushed that corner as soon as he heard that smoke. Should have rushed that corner.
I think that was a really, really high-pitched scream followed by, "Yeah, I got you there. Yeah, yeah."
Ooh, yeah.
Got him, shot you in the head, motherfucker.
All right. So Blackwatch takes it 4-1 on a nice little.
That'll be it. As yeah, they're filing out here. Go ahead, Theta.
I was just gonna say that was a nice little high/low note to finish on the end there, but good match for everybody all around, I would say.
Right. Yeah, Blackwatch did really well for themselves. We saw some really interesting pushes, learned a lot of interesting facts from our third co-caster, or our second co-caster, JamesBowk. A lot of things happening all at once. It was a really brutal set of rounds, especially here in Cargo. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot of footage to review here. I mean, some of the mistakes that they made, pretty easily improved. Just study the film, go over it with your teammates, and try to do better next time. But, other than that, it's just all about improvement. So hopefully that's what these guys can get out of it.
I'd pay particular attention to, there were scenarios they got away with, where there were massive holes on defense, which, in other situations would have resulted in a cap. I would focus on those first. I'd also focus on, there's a lot of defensive grouping in zones where everyone's watching the same direction. Trust your teammates to cover a direction and help them out by covering a different direction rather than all looking the same way. It's a good one to do. Other than that, yeah, I think there's a good plan there. I'm just disappointed by the P90 use.
Me too. Me too. I mean, it goes without saying.
I mean, the number one thing that I think Blackwatch could do to improve their play is just get Skyjoker to stop bringing a P90. I think that's just universal.
We need an intervention. Please message Skyjoker about the error of his ways using the tar with an iron sight and a P90 on Marsoc. Just disgusting. Disgusting. We need to do something. It's for the betterment of Blackwatch.
Indeed.
He did do really well, though. I can't blame him too hard there. All in all, very interesting set of matches. This has been your your caster, not co-casting this time, Monorchid, followed by ThetaVR as my main co-caster, and JamesBowk on analysis. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and enjoyed the cast. Have a good one.
See you around.
And we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monorchid. What's this Monorchid?
It's my full name, sir.
Monorchid?
No, it's Monor Child. We've already established this.
Child.